ghetto fabulous. This girl was like, you're not really ghetto. Okay. Neither are you. Okay. That's a concept. Yeah. That's a term. All right. So how can you O negative escape from the hive? We'll kind of talk about that too. You really have to do something different because they can access all your information easier. That's why when I do private things like that, I don't really want O negatives in the group because they're hives. The others, the dark CABALAS, they can access all your thoughts and your database easier. It's wherever you come from. I don't know what planet you come from. I don't think all O negatives no, that's a lie. Your biosphere comes from somewhere else. I don't know where it does. I don't want to tell you the origin because I would be lying to you. I don't know the origin of where you guys come from. And the dark and light O negatives. Now, if you ever talk to an O negative that's a brown person, they're super duper duper smart. It's really frightening how smart they are. And when I say frightening, they're very, very smart. I don't care if they're conscious in the way that we're conscious or not. If you ever talk, and I noticed this notably with the brown, not to say the lunars with O negative aren't smart. I'm talking about the brown ones. It makes me think that the brown O negatives are the source of the others. So it makes me think that the actual blueprint comes from the brown ones because of how smart they are. And again, I can't tell you where they're from origin wise. I don't know what they're not from here. None of us O's generally are from here. A's are the oldest, so they've been here longer in this biosphere. But O's were not from here, but I don't know where the O negatives are from. But when you talk to a brown negative, you're going to know what I'm talking about. Talk to a brown negative and talk to a lunar O negative. You're going to see what I'm talking about. They have access to data. They're really smart. Like, you know that they're getting their information from somewhere else. And it's their sourcing from all the other negatives. That's why I said they're really smart. And it's just an ability that comes with them. I don't think it's negative or positive. I'm not judging it. I'm just saying that's what they have access to. So I just note that. Okay. So let's talk about, hold on. Now you can always fact check me, y'all. Okay. You can always fact check me. Always, because remember, I don't need you to cheerlead me. You can always definitely fact check me and look this up yourself. Okay. So it's important for you to know that I'm mentally ill according to YouTube standards. Okay. And hold on. And, it's important for you to do your own research as well. I just share things that I know from my own point of view, and I always respect your opinions because I don't know everything, okay? I learn things every day, okay? Blood types matter, okay? So let's go down the line of the blood types and the species because, again, in itself, we have a war going on, and they're attacking O positives openly. Everything is being weaponized towards the darker skin O positives, but my lunar O positives, you're getting it because you part of us. You my cousin, you my kin, O positive lunar. So my light skin O positives, you in the same neck of the woods as us, okay? So you might as well say you're a brownie, okay? You one of us, okay? You're just a lighter skin version, okay? Your versions aren't going to be maybe as strong because your lighter skin, there are some things alchemically that may not affect you if they're sending weaponized bioweaponry towards the darker skin O positives. But remember, all the Mexican groups, the strongest, all up in Mexico, that's all O positive. The majority of Mexicanos and those who come from South America. If you notice, us Carib that are from South America, we all have O positive. They come in for us. Remember, we're the most regenerative out of all blood types, even O negative. We live the longest and we're the most regenerative. We generally have a longer lifespan to give birth to children, more than the other blood types. They're gunning for us. I noticed it with all the foods and the type of things they're putting in the foods that are directly trying to attack O positive specifically. So for our family who's O positive, I'll talk about it first. I'm going to share some information about B's and A's. I didn't leave you out, I promise you, okay? So it's important for me to share these things with you. And what you'll notice is like, people are like, what does blood types matter? You know it matters. You don't realize it. The people that you're most connected to is your blood type. You don't even know it. Like I told you, I was in a dance, I danced all the time. So I would go to this dance class, right? So much fun. It was in Florida. So we had other dancers and, like really professional. I'm a dancer. I dance every type, especially all Latin dances. I'm thebomb.com. I could dance, okay? I'm a Caribbean woman. I could dance every genre. That's me. The beat is in me. You know how Michael Jackson said the beat is in my heart. The drum is how I roll. I'm connected to the drum beat. I'm a jungle chick, okay? So I would go to this dance class, right? And always like we'd all meet up. And there was like this group of girls that would always meet up. Lunar women. I think there was one brown woman too. She was a anesthesiologist. And they would all meet up all the time. Then one day we were all standing out in the hallway and they were talking. And I'm always sitting there, I say hi to everybody. And they were talking, and one of the girls said, "Oh my God, you're an O negative too? Oh my God, are you O negative?" She was like, "How is it possible that we're all O negatives?" So I just laughed because I know genetics. I just I smirked over there. I was like, "Oh, okay." They're attracted to one another. They have a connection to one another because they share blood types. Blood types, you have an affinity for those who come from your same background. It was so cute though, because they didn't know. And it was just, I think one just talked about going to get her blood test taken and how they wanted her to donate her blood. And the other ones were just like talking about, and even the brown one was the O negative. That's why I tell you, you got to be careful with just complexionism, because complexionism happens, but it didn't matter that they were different complexions. Like one was brown, the other ones were lunar, but they all connected because they all shared the same blood type. Okay? And you do it all the time. You don't even realize the pheromones of the men that you're attracted to are always connected to your blood lineage that matches you. Like whenever I smell an O positive man, I want to eat him up. Like, especially if he's healthy. A healthy O negative man can walk by me if he's handsome. I'm just saying, I feel connected to him. And it's knowing my blood type and knowing that's where we come from, I always knew that my attraction, my affinity for men would always be based on blood types. The smell, his pheromones will always attract his proper mate and vice versa. The only difference now is that you have Willy Wonka and his League of Doom messing with the pheromones in perfumes and deodorants, and you're attracted to people who are bees and insects and reptiles. You wouldn't be attracted to them. They're putting it in the perfume. So you have like a whole reptilian shapeshifter. He's wearing this cologne that has humanoid type of pheromones and hyperpheromones so that you overlook his species. And then you mate with him and wonder why you're nauseous when you're pregnant. You wonder why you're throwing up every time he kisses you, or you're getting rashes. You're wondering why you're getting yeast infections every time he ejaculates inside of you. It's because he is adverse to you. And you've been tricked and prodded and primped and disillusioned to thinking that this is a person. Oh, is it cracking, y'all? Okay, let me take this out. Should I take it out? Is it really funky, Jay? Should I take this out? I just used it for the first time. Oh, my butt. my butt. Okay, just let me know. If I'm moving it too much, let me know, okay? Oh. I'm wearing these overalls for the first time. Oh. Okay. Oh, I'm so real. I keep it so real on here. Okay. So let me keep going. So what happens a lot of times is you're really attracted to really your type, your species. And what would be the reason that they would want you not to want to mate properly is because if you notice, the children are becoming alchemically imbalanced. I don't know. I don't only think autism happened just from let me say this. I shift my butt cheeks. Oh my God. You guys are so funny. I don't think it's only from the shots. Let me say that, okay? I don't think it's only from the shots. I think you're alchemically mixing with people that aren't right for you to mix with and have children with. And I think what's happening is when you mate with adverse species and blood types, you're gonna get these weird kind of weird types of aversions in your DNA structure, your structure. You know what I mean? Like you'll get like cranial structure that's not harmonic, or you'll get the way your heart valve is developed is not as strong because it doesn't have as much DNA resonance that matches. So you get these weird kind of anomalies in children, okay? And it's important for you to realize that even when mating, they're purposefully making us mate with reptiles, insectoids, all these non-species. Listen, we got a lot of really, and we don't even talk about the mudflood children, their offspring, the Cabbage Patch children, the orphan train children. You mating with them, you don't have enough DNA because those beings were created in laboratories underneath the ground during the last cataclysm. And because they were in the last cataclysm and they were created under the ground, they only have about 4 or 5 generations of decent DNA to structurally make a human being. And then, you like my 90s? You know what I'm saying, DJ? You know what I'm saying, right? I got the 90s, overalls. You know what I'm saying? DJ knows what time it is. I love wearing these. I feel like I could do the kid and play. Probably break my kneecap. Anyway. Anyway, so it's important for you to realize that Willy Wonka and his League of Doom are now weaponizing all food, all water, all air, all of the different types of chemicalized, weaponized bioweaponry, all in your pharmaceutical. And it's purposefully targeting certain blood types and blood lineage. Now, you could get it too, negative Russes, because remember, they don't like all of you either. So you got A negative, B negative, AB negative. They don't like y'all. They feel like you are the rogue, because a lot of times with the negative Russes, the ones who jump ship first are A's and B negatives and AB negatives. Y'all jump ship because you know that them O negatives don't have anything good in store for you. So they will target some of your blood lineage, and that's why a lot of you get thrown under the bus. So even though you have access to some of the hive, some of the information they may be putting out in frequencies might be negative to y'all. And that's where you get remember, all A's, whether it's A positive or A negative, they're very sweet people. A's are very trusting, just in nature. Just when we're talking about blood types, I'm talking about A's just overall, like A's, negatives, and positives. They're very sweet. They're usually very trusting. And those are the blood types that they will use to try to get over on certain things. So if there's an agenda going out, they're going to run it through the A's first. Because the A's won't, it's just the nature. Like, you guys are good with nature. Like, the animals love you. The birds love you. The cats, the dogs, everybody loves an A. Like, even when I'm around an A and I want to fight with an A, I can't fight with y'all. I can't. Because it's like it's unfair. Because you're so sweet. And I don't care. Like, I've had battles with A's before. Like, not real battles, because you can't really battle with an A. I've had like aversions. I didn't like something they did, or they didn't like. I can't do it. Because you're so darn sweet. And nature loves you. And you know I love the animals. And because the animals love you, just by the nature of animals rocking with you and protecting you, it makes me want to be a party to you. That's all good. But it could also weaponize. You can also be weaponized towards others because you're too open and receptive to forms of, it's not so much the propaganda. It's like you can be used as the transference, like to make us trust others. Like, an A can make me trust another that I normally wouldn't trust. Like, if an A vouched for someone, it's the nature of your blood lineage, of what you come from. It makes me okay. It makes me want to trust the other ones. And that's the problem. So A's, you have to really be really strong in making sure that your thoughts and the things that come across or people say to you or television or news, that you aren't susceptible to being so coerced by, especially sad things. A's are really coerced by sad things, things that make them sad, things that make them feel vulnerable to the world. Okay? So A's, that's just, I don't think it's negative, but in this terrible world of shapeshifters, demons, walk-ins, freaking cosplayers, and all these NPCs walking around, you can hurt some of us because we trust you. So pay attention to the things around you that make you feel a certain way. If it drives your emotions, you have to check them and make sure that it's coming from a legitimate source. If something is triggering you, A's, and they know where you are, make sure you pay attention to that. Now, B's, you already know how y'all get down. B's are the smartest of all the blood types. Yeah, B's, I'm saying you're smarter than us. I'm giving you props. Take it while you can. B's, you are the scientist. You are the microscientist. You're like I would go to you to have my house built. I would go to you to get surgery. I will go and take your opinion about anything clinical wise or medical wise. You are the smartest. That's why dark ops like to put you in their programs, because your brain has the capacity to hold more information than everybody else's, and you can compartmentalize it so it doesn't overwhelm you, so you don't overload. Bees are the bomb.com, but they use you. And all these governmental programs, you're the first person that the CIA and FBI want. They know your blood type. And if you come from a good lineage of like soldiers or people who work in like federal places, like they're going to get you first, okay? Protect your bee children, though, because a lot of your Mensa programs, the programs who test children, that test your children on a scholastic level, they're going to test your bees, and they're going to try to get them into programs. I would even say that if I looked in Harvard, Brown, Duke, Yale, all of your medical colleges, all your or even colleges that are more specialized in like mathematics or sciences, I would even say that majority of them are probably bees that were proficiently recruited by those universities. Okay, very, very smart people. I'm not saying the other blood types. Remember, I'm not a bee, but I'm telling you that it's she's talking foolishness. Well, Leonard, why are you here, Leonard? Be gone. If I told you I'm a mental illness patient, you shouldn't be shocked. I told you I was mentally ill. So now that you know that, then you're foolish for even stating it, because you're dumb to be here. So you're the dummy who's listening to a dummy. So who's really dumb? I'm a dum-dum. I'm an idiot. So you're an idiot for telling me I'm an idiot. Leave. Maybe because I'm not talking about how wonderful and fabulous your blood type is. Okay. So, and again, so when we're talking about bees, it's very important for bees to realize that your brain has the capacity to hold information without you even knowing it. So your goal is probably to pay attention to your sub-thoughts, the thoughts that hit your brain when you're in that beta state or that theta state, like things that kick up into your mind and you don't know where it came from. You need to pay attention to that. Okay? It's very, very important for you to do that because you can hold so much information. That's why would dark ops programs want to contract you? Then you got to say, okay, they want to contract me, but how would I know if they did if I can't even remember it, because it's in a part of my brain that I haven't had access to, and I need a code to unlock it. Okay? So pay attention to that, because remember, all these mind control programming, all the television and social media. Now we're going to go into the NPCs, the empty seaters, the Cabbage Patch Children, and the cosplayers that are all online setting everybody up. Oh, thank you, Gaffy. That's setting everybody up. We have, did I go on to all the blood types? Did I hit everybody yet? So Bs and ABs. Okay, let me touch ABs. And many of you heard this already. I don't want to go too deep because many of you have known me over the years. You know I talk about like all the blood types. ABs, they are so neutral. ABs are like the perfect equilibrium between the A's and Bs. They are got that sweet and sour. You know, like sweet and sour sauce? That's an AB. If ever you get in a beef and you got a fight and you got beef with somebody in the office, always have ABs in your office. They are wonderful neutralizers. They are fair and balanced in that way. Every time I try to have a beef, now I haven't ever, gratefully, ever had beef with an AB. Even when an AB thinks I'm being egregious, because, you know, a lot of you do. You think I'm over the top. Sometimes, you know, if my breasts are out or I'm doing too much. ABs have a tendency to just see past that. They see what's balanced about me or in the midst of things. They're the balancers. Now, Japan, I give a big up to Japan because Japan has really mastered the art of utilizing blood types to hire people and to match with people as far as mating. They won't. They know that O's are strong leaders, and if they want a good leader in their group, they know to hire O's. Whenever they need someone who is really good in mathematics, science, or very finite things that require more critical or more specific type of studies or whatever their field is, they know to hire Bs. A's they know are great at really doing things with nature or art or things like that. So they really have mastered. You can look into this. It's actually quite fascinating how the Japanese have broken it down. Okay, you should take a look at how they kind of set up their whole system and how it works for them. They aren't getting children that are non-cohesive because they know that blood types matter, and hiring people with the level of mastery that is inside of their Akashic records, like having someone work at their job who has specific skill set that their ancestors did really well at, it only makes their society more advanced and more cohesive. So you should check out the Japanese. They really mastered that. I really have an appreciation for them really taking that in consideration and really making their society based on blood types, because species and blood types matter, okay? All right, so let me talk about the Cabbage Patch children. Now, let me explain this, y'all. People always talk about cloning. Remember, I was kicked